Yeah, yeah,
I'm not tired. You are.
So that ump, screw that ump, huh?
I mean, I understand ending it if time's up. There's no game behind us. It's a 1-run game
Yeah,
and it's 1 inning. But
literally 1 inning. Yeah. If you guys can finish this 1 inning in 1 minute, then go ahead and go for it.
I
Like,
feel
bro,
like he was wrong that it would have. We had more time than that, but maybe not.
like, bro, calm down. Dark. Live.
Live.
All right. Let's go. Yes, indeed. Get you right there. Bang, boom. All right. Ooh.
I'm glad one of us is ready to go. It's not me.
I want to see who's who's gonna hop in our show this early.
I don't. I'm fully expecting there to be nobody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
well, I'll run that ad, and then we'll get going. 1 second.
Bro, I got this. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, America. Good morning, the Philippines. Good morning to all of our Asian countries. Good morning to Germany. Good morning to another country over there I can't think of.
What's that?
Good morning. I'm just checking my voice.
Oh.
All right. Maybe I should put this on. Boom, boom, boom. All right.
Oh no, brown cow. Oh no, brown cow. Oh no, brown cow.
I dropped my phone.
And you cracked it?
Got like that. I hopped on that workout bike in the garage, and I put my phone in the sleeve because they give you that year free membership. So I had to take my case off, and it fell.
How many phones do you go through a year, do you think?
On average, 3.
Oh man. I don't know. I've cracked
Ooh.
2 phones, I think.
What's the time span on this?
ever.
Yes, stop lying.
I'm serious. And I get these cheap cases too. There is a lot of luck involved in that because I drop it face down on gravel sometimes when I'm getting out of the car. But that's the truth. You ready?
Indeed.
30 minutes.
Indeed.
All right. Welcome, sports fans. Thank you for tuning in to some Untapped Keg Sports. I'm RJ Zimmerman here with my good friend Monte Ball. How you doing, big guy? How you feeling?
Exhausted, but in a good way. Not like a super depressed exhaustion. Excuse me. Just tired, man. 6:30 a.m. We are live at 6:30 a.m. But obviously, we'll get into some other reasons why I'm tired later in the show. But how you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. You can kind of see behind me, life is happening a little bit. Things are going on. Doing some housework, so not completely normal setup, but yeah. You know what? I have nothing to complain about, so
Nice.
I'm good. And hey, Brewers are rolling. Bucks get a
man.
big win when they need it. It's weird.
Brewers are rolling. That's an understatement.
I'm
actually.
I'm just waiting for that other shoe to drop. I'm waiting for that pin, that nail, that I'm gonna step on as a Wisconsin sports fan. We know it was there. Giannis got hurt. Giannis didn't play yesterday.
Let's go ahead and get right into it. Bucks are up 3-2 right now. Going into Game 6, they can close it. They are going to Atlanta because it was back to Milwaukee, then back to Atlanta. Now, if it goes to Game 7, they'll be back in Milwaukee. Giannis did not play. What is the news on that? Obviously, I did read that nothing structural, which is good. But again, you have to take that news with a grain of salt. How bad do you think it is? Or if it's bad at all?
It's
injury.
I mean, honestly, it's hard to say because I'm not the person, but it was a good sign when he got up and walked off the court. Not that you can't walk off though with a torn ACL or anything,
or torn Achilles, like Kobe. Rest in peace.
When I watched it, I mean, obviously it looked bad, but when I watched it in slow motion, I was like, "Oh, that looks like a hyperextension," which is what it ended up being, and that's tough to do anything with. Like, I've hyperextended my knee a few times doing various things, and it's like, it's all about the pain tolerance is really what it is, but also your effectiveness. So that's why basketball's so different, because you can go out in football and gut it out a little bit, or even baseball, you can gut it out. But basketball, if you don't have the lateral movement, you can get away with not jumping as high as you normally would. But if you don't have that lateral movement that you can put your foot down and push off, you're a detriment to your team. You're not going to help. So it's all about what it takes to get him back. So we'll see what the Bucks' plan is. We'll see if he's going to be active. See here today is Friday, so Saturday night. That's another absolutely massive game. We'll see if the Bucks can pull it off.
They should.
Yeah, they got the Suns waiting for them. The Suns are playing some unbelievable basketball. But I tell you what, a couple years ago, Christian Yelich breaks his kneecap. He's the only Brewer who's hitting at the time. The only. Their offense is terrible. The only way that they score is a Christian Yelich home run. And this is not an understatement. This is what it was. Christian Yelich breaks his kneecap right before, I want to say it was like last week of August, maybe first week of September. Brewers are like 4 or 5 games back. It's like, well, there goes their run. They had a good year. They had a good run. They'll come back next year. They'll be fine. And it galvanized the team. The team came together. They made a run and they made the playoffs.
Right.
And sometimes things like this are triggers. Yes. We're human. We are human, and sometimes we forget that human element. So the way that the Bucks played last night was kind of vintage Bucks basketball. The only thing that worries me is they didn't really go too deep into the bench. By vintage Bucks basketball, I mean the type of basketball they were playing most of the season when they were playing well.
Yeah.
Good defense.
Dude, they're trying to preserve some bodies. They might be trying to go all out tomorrow night.
Oh, I think they are. I think they absolutely are. I think that they want to close it out and they don't want it to let it get to a game 7 because
right, anything can happen.
Yep. And,
anything can happen.
You know, Trae Young comes back next week, or next game, which is probably going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You got something else that you have to defend, so it's going to be interesting to see what the Bucks do. So,
yeah, no, I think it's a good take, man. Especially about just how it's different. Injuries are different in basketball than they are other sports because basketball it's a continuous. Those sequences go way longer than they do in baseball, way longer than they do in football. Of course, obviously football you got 6 to 7 second bursts, and then you got obviously like a 30 to 40-second break, depending on TV timeouts, depending on just a regular timeout or what have you, an injury or something like that. But and obviously baseball, the statistics show that out of the 3 hours, only 18 minutes of that is the ball's in play. But obviously basketball, it's you can have a 20-second sequence,
you can have longer than that.
Yeah, which to some doesn't sound long, but 20 seconds of exerting that amount of energy up and down that court is, you got to be healthy. You got to be somewhat healthy. Obviously, every player's banged up some way, somehow, but when it comes to your knee on that court, gotta get it right. And hopefully, his injury is not too bad because you guys are gonna need Giannis. Obviously, you're gonna need Giannis, but I love it too. Yeah, other players are stepping up.
I mean, Brook Lopez had a heck of a game, right?
Right.
Brook Lopez balled out. Honestly,
he's like the most stale player. He's like the most stale player, but he's good.
I know. That's the thing. That's the thing about him. That's what's so funny. Somebody said on Twitter, and it's Flurry Sports. Your friend over there at Flurry Sports.
Yeah.
So he said, Brook Lopez looks like somebody's always calling his name. Huh? What?
Yeah.
And I saw his pictures and I'm like, that's so true. That is him. Like somebody called his name. He's looking around. That was unbelievably great take. I like that.
He's a solid player. Very solid player. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm rooting for the Bucks. Chris Middleton played well though. Like Drew Holiday, everybody played well, and their defense, honestly, was what was solid. They didn't shoot great from 3, but they didn't take a ton of 3-pointers. Right? Nice.
They shot well. I'm not saying they shot poorly from 3, but it's not like they got hot and that's why they won. They controlled the game from start to finish, and the Hawks made a couple runs. The Hawks almost shot 40% from 3.
40? Wow.
Or, I mean 50%. The Hawks shot
50. Even I was saying 40 is still high.
47% from 3. The Bucks shot 40%. So when you get open looks in the NBA, you're gonna knock them down. It doesn't matter where it is on the floor. You just gotta know what's a good shot and take a good shot. And then obviously you have Chris Middleton getting hot, and everything's a good shot. Or when Giannis gets hot, or anybody gets hot.
It's gonna take.
But they had contributions from everybody who was in the game last night.
That goes to show you.
That's what's gonna take.
Yeah, that goes to show you. I bet you that's how it is, man. That's how it is when a player gets injured. At least that's how it was on with the Broncos. When a player get injured, the whole team will say, "All right, we got you. We're gonna rally behind you." And we're gonna, because players know you got to step it up now. Obviously, when your star player goes down, now everybody else has got to pick up the slack a little bit more. You all got to chip in extra. So it's exciting. I will say, as we all know, constant sports history shows that there are some letdowns. Usually there's a letdown around this time. Got the Brewers crushing it. My Cardinals are 8 games behind. It's rough. Obviously, you got your Bucks dominating.
I wouldn't say dominating, but the Bucks are one win from the NBA Finals.
I think they'll get them. I think it's going to be 4-2.
Listen, it's the curse of Scott Walker. That's what I'm going to call it. I sent you that list of the Wisconsin sports team's failings since the Packers won the Super Bowl in 2010.
Yeah.
And it's almost every single year there's one team that gets to a conference finals and then doesn't win and just has a chance, but they just let down. And every single year. But you know how I keep talking
about my Rose Bowl losses on there.
Fred VanVleet. You know how I talk about Fred VanVleet a lot. When the Raptors won the title.
Because he's balling.
Bobby Portis could be the Fred VanVleet this year, but it's for the Bucks. He didn't play at all the last 3 games of the Nets series. I think everybody knows the narrative. But every single time he's gotten in there, he has given everything that he has, and he's played well. He knows what he has to do to help this team.
Think he's a good 6-man?
He gets stuck into the starting lineup. Giannis is out because he's been playing really well.
Yeah.
And puts up 22 points. 22 points, 8 rebounds.
That's a solid performance in the conference finals.
Yeah. And it wasn't the best shooting night, but that's okay. Like
22 points. 8, you said, what you say, 8 assists?
8 rebounds.
8 rebounds? 8 rebounds. That's a good performance.
And then you have Chris Middleton at 26, 13 rebounds. You have
They were attacking those boards. That's what I'm talking about.
Holiday, 25 points, 13 assists, 6 rebounds. So
Drew Holiday, they had 25 points. Because obviously we know his defense is top notch.
Yeah.
But that's a good offensive performance by him. You said 13 assists.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you play some rally basketball when your star player's down. 13 assists, 8 rebounds, 25 points, 22 points. That's pretty cool.
Obviously,
that's pretty cool.
Lopez led the way with 33 points. Like Brooke Lopez was awesome. And the funny thing is, Lopez normally hits a few threes. He hit none last night, and he still had 33 points.
Didn't need to take him, so he really.
They worked that paint.
That's what I'm about to say. He really took that presence down there in the paint.
I didn't get to watch the entire game, but going into the first half, the Bucks had going into halftime. The Bucks had 42 in the paint points, and that might have been higher by the time the buzzer actually rang. But 42 points in the paint, like that's unreal.
But that's so good because, again, watching the Bucks play, we always talk about that hero ball, that pass around the arc, maybe pass it once, shots, or keep passing it. Clock gets down to like 2 seconds. And then, shot clock down to 2 seconds, and then they just chuck it up, or ISO with Giannis, and it's 50-50. He's either gonna miss it or get fouled, or make it. I'll give him that as well too. But that's really good to see them actually play some in the paint basketball. Use your size. There's a huge size difference when you look at the Bucks and then when you look at the goddamn Hawks. So I'm glad they use their bodies,
really
use
their
size. Right. But that's some really sound basketball. Get in the paint, make the shot, get an and one, or get fouled, and make two free throws. So that's some really good basketball. That's the kind of basketball that you can carry to the next game. So it's going to be interesting.
Maybe I misspoke on the shooting percentage. I was right the first time. The Hawks shot almost 40% from 3, and then the Bucks shot 31%. So,
here I got a question.
It wasn't an amazing shooting night, but
I guess this depends on. I guess you really don't have all of the right pieces. I guess I want to say to actually answer this question entirely. But do you play Giannis Game 6? And again, I guess it depends on the severity of the injury.
Okay. Here, let me frame it so that we can answer this.
Right.
At what health percentage do you play Giannis in a Game 6?
There you go. Exactly. At Atlanta, because here's the thing: you don't want to go to Game 7, but you can go to Game 7.
Right. So
and it's back at home.
what I would say to that So basically, if you went to a game 7, you would give Giannis possibly more rest before the NBA Finals. That's something to possibly think about.
Right.
So I would go into game 6 with a similar game plan, with everybody knowing that we need to win this by ourselves. And then our star player is going to come back. The cavalry's coming, but we need to do it.
I do the same too.
And you've already proved it. You've already proved it to yourselves that you can do it. You can play this team ball, and you can beat a good playoff team in a big situation. Yeah. So if he's less than 90%, I do not play him in game 6.
I don't play him either.
That's my opinion. You let him get as close to 100% as possible before he comes back.
So Trey's coming back though, right? So Trey's gonna give you 25.
There's no guarantee Trae Young is coming back, but my assumption is he is.
Right. Yeah, that's a good. I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly what I was going to say too. Is I wouldn't play him if he's less than 90%. I wouldn't play him.
Yeah,
because we don't want to go to game 7. So you guys can beat the team right now, and we're done. You guys already proved it to yourselves that you can make it happen. That's the route that I would go. Don't bring him back. Save him for game 7 if there is a game 7. Rest his body for the NBA Finals.
And I think we need to call out this stats though for Giannis's playoff run, because a lot of people have been talking smack because his free throws were not good, which fair, right? But Giannis's playoff run is unreal. So from ESPN stats and info, he is the first player with 400 points, 175 rebounds, and 75 assists through his first 15 games of a playoff run, right? And he only needed 14 games to get there.
Who's the next? Do you have that stat? Who he took 14 games to get there? Who was next on that list? Like, who took 16 games?
He's the only player to get there in 15 games, and he only took 14 games.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, Giannis
he scored 400 points this postseason. 400.
He's
175 rebounds.
Probably could have scored 450. Those free throws, but
that's an unbelievable run.
It is
unbelievable.
It is. Which is why they're in the position that they're in.
That's true.
To be able to compete for the NBA Finals.
I just wanted to shout out Giannis there, because he's been taking a lot of heat. Like, I would say validly so. Like, you're a star NBA player, you're gonna take heat, and not just that, but he's trying to take his team and himself to the next level. He's trying to get there, and I'm still not sure he can carry a team on his own, because Chris Middleton's had some really good games on the stretch. Drew Holiday has had some really, really good games down the stretch. But they ain't getting close if it's not for Giannis's playoff run so far.
Of course. Yeah, without Giannis, they're not even in this position.
Yeah.
That's fact. And yeah, his free throws.
It's just like that Nets game 7. Like, we were talking all about Chris Holiday, or
Drew Holiday.
Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. And they did close that game 7 out like pretty well. Yeah. But Giannis had 40 points. Like, Giannis was going toe to toe with Durant, and that was lost. So,
hold on. Change it. Change the topics here for a second.
All right.
Because I had no idea that this was even going on. Did you see LeBron and Tom Brady going at it?
No. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly. I don't understand why this news was so quiet. Yo, they went at it. Not like at it, but so LeBron said something. Let me pull it up. LeBron said something about Brady. Pretty much saying that. Hold on, let me pull it up.
That he was scary.
Let me pull it up just to make sure that I get this right. Okay. Tom Brady reacts to LeBron James not calling him the GOAT athlete. So
I was
Mhm.
wondering why people were talking about, because I did see some
Yeah.
people posting about a football player can't be the GOAT athlete because
They're only playing one
one side of the ball.
side of the ball. Yeah. So this is what
And I'm like,
LeBron
you know
James
what?
said. He said,
There's a little bit of fairness to that.
he said this, my only argument with the football player, this is LeBron James. My only argument with the football player being the greatest athlete of all time is that they only gotta play one side of the floor, man. End quote. Quote, yes, Brady is unbelievable. Brady is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen, but he affects the game one way. James then added, as physical as football is, and to the body, I know it's crazy to the body, but for a quarterback, Belichick has done a great job of implementing those five guys in front to protect that asset. And let me come back and now say what Tom Brady has said back to.
There's some fairness in that quote, and I don't think he was like burning Brady, saying that Brady
Right.
didn't win those rings, right? But there's a lot of fairness when you're talking about like the GOAT athlete and it not being a football player. Like, okay, like, yes, I'm sorry, but unless it's, and I don't know who it would be, but like a basketball player would, or honestly, a soccer player would probably be the GOAT athlete.
True. Yep, I agree. So in a nutshell, Tom Brady responded, and Tom Brady said, it really just depends what style you like. Brady said, you could say, well, you are maybe the most accomplished. I would say, okay, yeah, I've won a lot of games, Super Bowls and so forth.
Yeah.
But my style of play might not fit everybody else's, what their view, blah, blah, blah. He made a good, where is it? I'm going to get to the real quote of what he said.
Let's hear the fire. Bring that
fire. It's here. It's, oh, come on, where'd it go? So pretty much Brady said, let me just type it in exactly what he said and I'll pull it up.
I thought, so when you were bringing this up, I thought you were going to talk about Scottie Pippen and Kevin Durant.
Oh yeah,
going at
that one too. Yeah,
Kevin Durant just like absolutely murdered him after Scottie Pippen came for him. It was like, it was like, KD, respect.
Oh, here it is.
Respect, big guy.
So true. Okay, now this is what Tom Brady said. Tom Brady came back and responded with, okay, I clicked on the article and it's the wrong one. But long story short, this is what Tom Brady said. He said, one thing is for sure. One thing that is for certain in all of this talk, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but is that LeBron James quits on his Lakers teammates or on his teammates in the playoffs. That's what Brady came back and said to LeBron James.
That he quits
on his teammates in the playoffs.
That's an interesting take. That's an interesting take. I don't think you can ever watch a playoff game at all and say that Brady's quit, quote unquote quit.
No.
But Brady has been carried multiple times in big games, and LeBron has never had anybody carry him anywhere. Never. Not even when he was with the Heat. Dwayne Wade was not the same player as the Dwayne Wade before
Bosh was nice
there. But neither of them carried LeBron.
No. And Brady has been carried. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So
we all know.
LeBron was hurt. Like LeBron was really hurt this year. I think that's lost on a lot of people. That he's really mad right now and talking like he is because he was hurt, and he's mad that he was hurt because they played so much basketball the past year.
But that's the thing about professional sports, man. Unfortunately, nobody cares. Nobody cares if you're hurt. Nobody remembers if you're hurt. The only thing they remember is you didn't make it. You didn't make it.
Yeah.
Into the dance, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I would be just as upset if I was him. I don't think people really understand how fatigued your body is for 80 plus games running up and down that court.
And then after going through the bubble season and them winning that championship and, the starting and stopping of that season, and then you shorten your off season, and you don't cut any games and put any more rest days in there, and you just
2
have a normal
months,
season.
2 month break.
Like, that's ridiculous.
2 month break.
I usually am a big proponent for Adam Silver, but that's such a massive mistake. Like,
8 weeks.
you look at all the injuries in these playoffs, and it's like, yeah, I think that speaks for itself with
8
Adam
weeks
Silver's decision.
8 weeks. Yeah, you don't have enough time to even train. You can't train and rest your body in 8 weeks. I mean, you can, but you know what I mean. You just coming off of a full season, you can't rest your body and train in 8 weeks. It's not possible. It's not.
Yep.
To do it effectively, and obviously,
And
proofs
safely.
in the pudding. Yeah, proofs in the pudding. I mean, there's injuries after injuries after injuries in the NBA. But yeah, but I wanted to send that so to everybody, tuning in.
Well, let's talk about the Scottie
Check
Pippen
that
Kevin
out.
Durant one because we brought it up. So Scottie
That
Pippen
was
in an
so
article
weird too.
goes after Kevin Durant, and he says the difference between KD and LeBron is LeBron would have found a way to beat the Bucks, and KD didn't. KD's a great scorer, but he doesn't elevate his teammates.
Well,
That's what Scottie
okay.
Pippen said.
Okay. Why do you even come out and say that, Scotty? You don't even need to say that.
I think
Scott.
somebody asked him specific, like in Scotty's defense, he didn't just go looking for the smoke. Somebody asked him a question about the playoffs, and I think Kevin Durant's performance in the Game 7, which was gutty as heck, and like
It was.
dude had an unbelievably phenomenal game.
He played 58 minutes.
Yeah. So Kevin Durant tweets at him and goes, "Aren't you the guy who refused to go back in the game because your coach drew up a last-second shot that wasn't for you?"
Mm.
And everybody who watched the Last Dance documentary knows
That's a selfish
them's
move on
facts.
Scotty.
And yeah.
Could you imagine your teammate not wanting to come in the game because the coach drew up a play for you, as in me, to make the last shot, but you won't get off the bench because you want? That's the definition of selfishness. Good gosh, that is not a team player move at all. At all.
Yeah, that was and it was a playoff game. It was a playoff elimination game, I'm pretty sure.
He drew up the shot for Michael Jordan.
No, he drew up the no, this is the year Michael wasn't there.
This is the year, so I haven't watched The Last Dance yet. I guess I gotta check it out.
It was the year Michael wasn't there and Phil drew the shot up. I believe it was either for Paxson or it was for Kerr. And it's because they were better shooters.
Okay, that's when Scotty still took them to the conference finals, huh?
So yeah,
without MJ. MJ was gone. He played his baseball, right? Or yep. I gotta watch it because obviously
I have to finish it. I think I'm on the last episode, and I just didn't finish it. But
yeah,
I forgot how I knew that Michael Jordan was good, and I remember watching him, and I remember like just being in awe. But I forgot how good, just how great.
Elevating the players around him.
So, and I mean, that starts in practice with MJ, but with other players, it's just game time. It's being in the right position.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty exciting times, man. Game 6, Saturday night, probably at 7:30, like it's always been. The last games.
Are you gonna make a prediction? Is the curse of Scott Walker gonna haunt Wisconsin?
I don't think so. I think the Bucks will pull it off because I think they'll bring Trey back, Trey Young, but I don't see it. I don't see the Hawks doing it. The Bucks are they just always. It just seems like they're always up 14, 15 points early on, which again, early on doesn't mean anything. I get it. But it seems like they're just understanding how to score the basketball. They're understanding now how to put points up. They're understanding now how to play as a team. They're understanding now how to use the paint, use their bodies, use your size, get the ball as close as you can to the basket. But obviously, I'm not going to be, ignorant here. And say that Trae Young doesn't change the game because he does. He's going to bring 2025.
Somebody
else is gonna have to step up.
35. Let's be real.
Oh yeah.
It's just a matter of, is it on 40% shooting or is it on 20% shooting?
I forgot my at least.
Yeah.
He's bringing at least 25. So we'll see. Somebody else is just going to have to step up. If Giannis, of course, isn't back. But I hope the coach doesn't bring Giannis back.
If he's close to 100%, okay. But like I said, if he's less than 90%, don't do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Fresh legs for Game 7.
It's not worth it. Then again, they can close it out without Giannis. And it's at Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't need to win this one. You need to, but you don't. You understand what I'm saying? You can go to Game 7 and bring him back. Or you can close it out right now. But if I was him, I still just wouldn't. Yeah, I guess it depends on the severity of the injury. But even so, I would still lean on not playing him. Not worth it.
Definitely not.
Not worth it. You tell them, look, if we come out with the loss, this Game 6, you guys now are playing Game 7 at home. As a head coach, it's like, this is what you guys wanted. You know what I mean? This is what any team wants. Game 7 at home. Close it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Game 6 might be it.
As a Wisconsin sports fan, I don't make predictions. I just wait for the heartache, and that's what I'm waiting for. I'm calling it the curse of Scott Walker. I'm saying since that person was elected to be governor, this state has really turned into allowing their racism to come out to the forefront. And in that is why there's a curse on Wisconsin sports.
Got the youngin'?
So that's why I'm just waiting for it to change. Hey, who's that?
Hi, buddy.
Did you hear Daddy down here talking? Yeah. So is he silly?
But yeah, man.
So we got with the Brewers running through teams. I mean, they're 7 games up, 8 games up on the Cubs.
8. Oh well, Cardinals is 8. I don't know about the Cubs. I know the Cardinals though. Up on us by 8. Yeah, it's looking quite convincing. Who's gonna?
It's only the halfway point. Yeah,
it is.
I mean, so this is like your first year watching baseball.
We're just not. We're okay, but we just can't. We're just not consistent. I like to see that. I'm glad that Nolan made the All-Star team. Of course, third baseman. That's cool, and he gets to go back now to Colorado, play in that stadium. But we just can't. We just can't stack them. We can't stack them yet. Again, it's halfway in, so we'll see. But I'm just not. So, I'm not feeling it.
Did you say the Brewers are 8 games up on the Cardinals?
I believe so. Yeah,
they're actually 9.
Oh, jeez.
And they're 6.5 games up on the Cubs. They just got done sweeping the Cubs. All Cubs fans could talk about is the Brewers' easy schedule. Which, don't get me wrong, it was an easy schedule. But the Brewers don't make the schedule up. You play who's put in front of you. That's why I don't understand people who argue like weak schedules in terms of whether a team is good or not. Because when you play bad teams, if you're a good team, you win those games. And that's what the Brewers did. So they play the Cubs, and all these Cubs fans are talking smack. And the Cubs got smacked.
I think the only time you can use that argument is college sports.
Yes, I agree. That's what I said.
Really college football too, because they do pick those buffer games at the beginning, those 4 games where you're playing Austin P, you're playing Wake Forest or something. It's
Appalachian State.
Yeah, but in the pros,
the Citadel.
In the pros, you just play whoever's right in front of you. Period. That's just how it is. So
And if you have an easy stretch of games, take advantage of it. And that's what the Brewers have done.
right. We got to talk about another thing, man.
Okay.
Can't believe we missed this. Nil, man. Name, image, likeness. Can I believe we missed this? We got it.
We've missed a big college story every single week. We've just been focusing on the Bucks, basically. So,
gotta talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about it in terms of how much money would you have right now if this was the case when you were playing?
Ooh, so people who don't understand what we're talking about now, college players can in all sports can get paid for the use of their name and likeness, which makes sense. If the university, if the athletic program is going to benefit off of your name with, financially, then why doesn't the player as well? So I get it. I'm just a little worried that it may change the game. I don't know, but I would have made, yeah, it would have been a even better time on campus. I would have made some really good money. A lot of players would have made some really good money.
Who do you think on the team would have made the most money?
Which year?
Let's say the 3 Rose Bowl years.
You
think of JJ?
No.
You think Tune?
No. Either me or Russell. Yeah, the Russell was 1 year. So it would have been me, I think, because the 3 consecutive years.
But I mean, in a year.
In a year, Russell. Yeah. Russell. I think Russell.
Did you see Graham Mertz's merchandise line? He has his own logo.
I actually like it. He got his own site, so it's an awesome. And kudos to him. I wouldn't wait another second either.
Yeah.
As soon as July 1st came, boom,
he had it ready to go.
These players are going to cash out. So that's just what makes me nervous. 2 things make me nervous about it, man. Team camaraderie. We're human beings. We naturally get jealous at times, unfortunately. It's just natural. But hopefully that doesn't affect the team camaraderie. And 2, some of these players are going to get taken advantage of with these contracts. They don't have any agents. So these contracts, what's going to be the fine print of some of these endorsements?
Yeah.
We're going to lock you in for 2.5 years. They're probably not going to read that part. Or we're going to lock you in for 3 years.
Help them in that way.
I don't think so, man. I don't think they're helping them out.
They have to.
Maybe, but I, at the current moment, I don't think they're helping them out contractually with helping them with contracts. And 2, bullet point from that point is taxes, man. Makes me nervous too for these players.
Oh yeah.
1099s. These taxes, man. And we're not talking
filled out.
We're not talking $1,000, $1,200 where you're not flagged really from the IRS. Some of these players can be making 10s to 20s to 30s to 50K. We're talking some big bucks here that can get you in trouble a couple years down the road for not filing. So we'll see. They have to put a system around these players. But
it's exciting for college athletes. It's about time.
It is.
There's no reason that, sure, you don't need to be making money per game. You can still be an amateur. But if people want to use your name, likeness, or image, why not? There's nothing that's going to hurt. That is not going to hurt the sports. It's not going to make these recruiting powerhouses more recruiting powerhouses. You can't get any more of a recruiting powerhouse than they already are.
I got something for you though on that. Do you think though these LA markets are going to suck in more players? I should have said that differently. My apologies. Are going to recruit more players? Like the LA markets, the Chicago markets.
You're still going to go to Bama. You're still going to go to Clemson. You're going to go places. I think that there's going to be a few schools that surprise players that if you go there and you give it your all and you become a little bit of a folk hero, how much money you can make at those schools, like a Penn State, Illinois basketball, little schools like that, like maybe a University of Houston, maybe like I mean, imagine Nebraska. If a
That's
player
the thing,
goes
with
to
nothing else.
Nebraska and becomes a little bit of a folk hero, you're gonna make some bank.
You're gonna eat up that
NIL.
whole market. Eat the whole market up. So that was good.
What are you more
good
excited
point.
about now? You more excited about like possibly helping recruiting for Wisconsin, or you're more excited to get that NCAA football game?
NCAA football game for sure. And I hope they do some.
Have they contacted you to use your NIL yet as a legend?
Oh gosh, I wish, man. That would be so awesome. If they, I hope they do.
Like they have, they're gonna have like all-time teams.
I gotta be on there. I was a 99. It's a 99. Especially when they talk about, if they do an all-time Wisconsin team, who knows? It might be Jonathan Taylor.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have Ron Dane. You're gonna have Jonathan Taylor. You're gonna have Melvin Gordon. You should also be there, and Anthony Davis should also be there, and James White should probably be there. You could have 6 running backs. There's nothing wrong with that. It's college football.
So true.
And it's
but again, do they want to pay 6 running backs?
I don't think they're gonna have to pay you guys a ton.
True. I'm gonna need. Yeah. Well, we can talk offline about that, but yeah, I'm excited.
At least $20 and free games for life.
See, here's the thing. I would actually do that. I wouldn't take any cash if I could get. I would say, hey, just give me a better setup.
Right?
Give me a better setup.
And give me the game for free forever.
Or let me sponsor my podcast for however much you were going to pay me. Let's break that down quarterly. And that's what you're going to pay us to be a sponsor.
We could use the marketing.
So
Put us out there.
Just for free. There. So true. But all right, man, we got to get going, huh?
Yeah, we got a big day ahead.
Indeed.
Let's talk about why you're so sore, though, real quick.
Dude. Man, softball last night. So we had softball last night at 8:45 p.m. Pretty sore, man. 3 for 3 at bat.
Game, but people brought their radio. People had their phones going. We were watching close.
It was fun. I'm still sick about that drop that I had, but surprised myself getting there, but didn't finish it. But yeah, pretty sore, man. Pretty sore. How's your body feeling?
Fine.
Oh, not mine.
My arm's always sore the next day, but that's just how it is because I broke my arm and I can no longer throw very well.
You were zooming that ball yesterday, though.
I'm still a little bit accurate, but not. I'm still
that ball. You put that ball on a rope, on a tight rope. That was pretty nice. I gotta admit, that was pretty nice. I'm sure I played basketball. But
it's different.
I played basketball on Tuesday and hit the bike on Tuesday, and then came back 2 days later and played some softball. But yeah, I'm pretty sore, man. The
day after the first game, I was so sore. I was like, unless I played 10 games in one day, which I've done multiple times in tournaments, I have never been this sore from one game. But it was like, dude, it was your first game in 2 years.
2 years.
You know, it was my first game in 2 years.
Right.
Earlier in the year. So, you know, a little bit more than a year and a half. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
It is fun, man. Good to catch up with the guys too. Haven't seen some of them in 2 years. So it's pretty cool. Dude, I got this I think I chipped a bone in my foot. On the top of my foot. I don't know how. Maybe just from running. Or how? I think when I slid. Slid into the third. I got this huge, it's like that tall. My skin is just, it's just a little inflamed on top of my foot, but raised about that high. And
you went straight to chip bone?
Yeah, exactly. Being super dramatic doesn't even hurt really. feels weird, but doesn't. Yeah, but all right. But yeah, that was fun. All right, we got Bucks. You got Brewers crushing it, Bucks crushing it. The nil.
NIL.
It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting how that's gonna play out. I'm a little salty. I'm a little jealous, but players most definitely deserve it.
And that's the thing. That's where you are compared to some other people. And I think they are about to know who they are. But just because you didn't have it doesn't mean the future shouldn't have it.
Exactly.
Just because it didn't exist when you were there and it should have, doesn't mean that nobody deserves it ever.
Exactly.
These
it's not
kids,
these kids' fault that they were born this time, or are born the time they were to be able to reap these benefits.
So I talk about it at work sometimes. Like, just because we didn't do it that way forever doesn't mean we shouldn't do it that way now. Like certain things that we do at work.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we never did it that way before because the piece of equipment wasn't available. Guess what?
We do it now. Yeah, and we use it.
And then you talk about other things that way too, like, you know, free college
Everything.
or free community college, or, you know,
computers.
Yeah.
Should we not use computers now?
We shouldn't use computers because I didn't have it, so you shouldn't be able to use it for math class.
Yeah, we can thank IBM, and I'm gonna utilize it.
Thank you, Watson.
Sure. So yeah, that's my thing. I'm jealous, but they deserve it, and that's what people. That's just what it is. If you're gonna use my name to bring in more revenue for your business, for your literal pockets, I'm gonna need. Come on, turn them pockets inside out.
I'm not
for me.
saying this to be like mean-spirited, targeted in any way, anything like this, but Monte Ball brought in so many millions of dollars to the UW athletic program, and that is an absolute fact. When you look at that junior and senior year, and especially that senior year, them using Monte Ball the way that they did to get money, why didn't you get some of that? You deserve some of that.
I was on a bus.
Hard work. And then here's the thing that people don't understand. As soon as, you know, going back to UW and stuff, something happens. Or this isn't just UW, this is any university, but they don't have to help you out.
Oh, right.
Once you're not there,
they don't have to do anything.
Yeah, you're just cattle.
Most of the time they don't. No, I'm very open about that. We all know how the NCAA is.
Yeah,
it's a churning business. It's one in, one out.
It's
period.
What is it, like $20 billion business a year or something like that? I mean, it's massive.
Yeah,
and it ain't just football,
and it's not slowing down. But all right, man, we gotta get going. Yeah, we covered a lot.
So you know what? Catch us on Sunday. We're still gonna record a show Sunday morning.
Indeed,
it'll be normal time, 9 a.m. Thank you for tuning in at this odd time, super early in the morning. I don't have any coffee. Got a kid running around. I gotta corral him. So you know what? Let's have a good weekend, everybody. Enjoy your holiday. Be safe. If you're gonna drink, do it responsibly. Think about your family.
Do not drink and drive. Do not drink and drive. Sorry,
we'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys on Sunday. So enjoy your sports. Go Bucks.